Jamie on successfully contracting COVID.
Woo!
Been there, done that.
Congrats.
Hope you're feeling better, Jamie.
He's muted.
Sorry, I missed the mute
He
button.
died.
Yes, I am. Here I am. Quarantine me.
Are you past the hard part?
I think so. Question mark. Is that the part where you find out that you tested positive? Because yes,
I think that's it.
the part where you're just like, come on, 2 years in.
It was your time.
Yeah, death comes for us all. Yeah, doing fine over here, just not productive.
Nice.
Oh, and my son is cataloging his Pokemon card collection in case anybody's looking for some rares. I'll hit up Manny.
Yeah, let Manny know.
That's Web3 adjacent. I like it.
So this week, Casey's kind of taking leading the charge of the walkthrough.
You want to talk about, before I dive into some demo stuff, demo scene? Do you want to talk about all the different other announcements we had this past week? 2
Yeah, this
weeks.
last week was pretty busy in that we have, and they're still open, I think. I know. There's Void Runners and Legend Maps both have allow list spots for God holders available currently. Each has a unique URL you can visit and confirm that you are a God owner, and you get access to purchase one of their forthcoming very exciting actual game NFTs. Obviously, Legend Maps has a big video game, gaming background, and has very interesting mechanics coming out where not only the owner of the NFT can, earn by renting out their warrior, but the same with the maps. Void Runners is awesome because they also have a very thorough game creation background. It's not just people making NFTs that claim they'll be making games, but actual game makers making NFTs in games. So both are very exciting and promising and have good dark vibes. So check them out. We'll share them again, I guess, but just do a back scroll in Revelations to get a view into that.
Yeah, to make it easy for anyone that might be watching this later, I'm just going to write it into the Notion recap, all the steps you need to take to get on those allow lists. And I do know that there's still spots for both of them.
Absolutely.
Cool. Anything else you want to talk about before we do demos?
I think that's it.
Well, I think last Temple Time we demonstrated the blood game and the boons, and all of it was like a mock functionality, but now it's all working, which is exciting. And the pace is gonna, if you can share your screen, he's gonna demo for me as I talk through it, because I want to show you guys what it looks like from a fresh account, a fresh wallet.
Okay, so
but I guess as a quick reminder of what we're working on, we've been working on a game for gods called, and we're calling it Blood Game, where you essentially can stake all your gods, your wallet, to a specific cult, astral, terrene, or arcane, and you play a Tamagotchi-like game where you keep your gods happy, and as you play and keep your gods happy, you earn blood tokens. And then those blood tokens are used to then buy things from the Blood Exchange, a store of valuable jewels where you can use those jewels to make it easier to take care of your gods and earn more blood. So it's just all a game to earn the blood. So the latest thing we've been working on is the store where you can buy things with the blood. If you want to go to the exchange page.
is that up here?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm resurrecting a god as well.
Perfect. Resurrection complete. So as you can see, the pace has over 12,000 blood, which is insane. This guy has been mining
Beta blood.
Crazy. Beta blood. This is all testnet stuff, so it's not live yet, and I hope that we will launch this beta Monday, so that everyone can start testing it, and that will be the final beta of all of this before we go mainnet. It's all getting very close, and a lot of the work Jamie and I have been doing is just like figuring out edge cases and trying to make things scalable and not crash. So with the blood, you can buy these boons. Each boon does something different, but they all essentially keep your gods satiated and alive for a certain amount of time. So this petty boon will make all your gods healthy for 1 week by spending 1.5 blood. That is a temporary price. Last week I demoed the machinations walkthrough of just simulating the blood economy to help us figure out the prices for these things. But we set these, I think Jamie set these very low so that we could easily test buy blood, so it wasn't too expensive. But these numbers will go way up when we go live for beta. But yeah, the first step is approving the token contract. So this is just saying, giving yourself an allowance so that we can spend your blood. Approving.
I am just realizing that the whole recording will have a flipped screen. But
Oh, really?
yeah, I'll deal with that later. I think I can just change it in post.
We could just have people watch from behind their computer.
Yeah, hold a mirror up and
That's very,
yeah.
very arcane to have to hold a mirror and watch a video backwards. I like that.
Okay, so it's
yeah,
approved.
so go ahead and buy it.
Okay. This is truly my first time ever doing this, so here's your
right.
UX case study.
Does it make sense so far?
Oh yeah. Approve. Normally, any type of token you need to approve that you're going to be working with. So I'm guessing this is for the 1155, specifically the petty boon approval, or am I going to need to do that for each one?
No, you nailed it. You nailed it, my friend.
Okay.
It is the blood shop is a single ERC 1155 contract, and each
That's
item
amazing.
is just one item inside of it. That makes sense. Which was kind of an interesting technical blog post that I have not written. And by interesting, I mean interesting to a very small number of people. Style interesting, but yeah, these items are somewhat fungible.
Can I buy another one?
Which is
Sure.
you can
You
buy
can buy
so
as
many.
as you want.
What
Buy
about this
so
one?
many.
Notification is baboon, like baboon.
How fast can I buy boon? Let's keep going.
Let's find out. Actually,
This is cool. This is the first time I've been able to spend on anything, and I tell you what, it feels good.
oh my god. Let's
Big spender.
make
Big
more
spender.
things.
And hopefully the price updates correctly.
Oh,
I
yeah,
see
yeah.
prices updating. Yeah, this
Look at
is
that.
great. This is the best demo I've participated in a while.
Okay, so how do I know what I've bought? I've gone on a spending
Okay,
spree.
you can on this page. We haven't displayed at a top level what you own, but if you click into each one, it tells you that you own one.
Oh, let me try to buy one more. I just want to see it go up. Number go up.
You're speaking my language.
This is cool.
Baboon.
It'd be cool if we could one day. Obviously, this is baboon. This is like a future thing, but it would be cool if one day, like, we could turn off all signing transactions if you wanted to. Maybe not by default.
I think Jamie suggested at one point that could be something you buy, a boon that you buy to no longer sign.
It's one of my most evil boons.
Okay, you own two. Okay, perfect. I'm guessing this
Um,
page I can also.
Yep. So this is where your boons show up, the ones that you own, so you can see them all here. So this tab navigation is new, which shows all your dead gods and your boons. Boons do not stack, so you can only activate one of each type. But you just essentially would only want to pick one, since all of these kind of do the same thing, except they have different expirations.
So this divine boon,
Except for that one.
this is like the holy grail, right? Like if I activate
is,
this,
yeah.
I'm done buying auto farmers.
You know, I haven't tested Divine Moon, but I assume it works.
Do I dare? No,
I
no.
have a secret to tell you. All I did was just set it to like a million
Far
days.
future. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, so it's
Well, let's start
turns
with
out
the expiring ones.
Yeah, let's do just the normal petty. And then, so I click in, I say activate.
I think there's a new icon for the divine boon too.
Yeah.
It's like significantly more divine.
It is appropriately shaped.
One thing that I noticed is there's no back button.
I see you trying to close it.
Yeah. But I see you click off. I have a feeling maybe for mobile that'd be an issue, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're correct.
Noted.
You're correct. I'm nearly positive GPU will also add escape key.
Escape key. Yes.
Because of the sickness. Because of the UX sickness.
So this guy's going, and this means that so for whatever's sated.
So right now I haven't figured out how to solve this, but when you activate it, I can't get everything to refresh, so you have to reload the whole page.
I'm seeing some odd behavior with my sated gods.
Yeah, it'll get weird here.
Okay, here we go.
So now it should be normal. Now it's loading from scratch.
It's called beta for a reason.
There we go.
I mean, if it was
should be sated.
If it was bug free, we would have shipped it already.
It revived everybody.
In order to get it to all refresh, I think I have to refactor a lot, so I may not even fix this issue. Where
we should just hard refresh the page. We should be like,
oh yeah,
Boon activated.
That's
oh my god. Oh, send them to /portal. Have like superfluous animation. Refresh entire page. Business is over.
Future creep.
Yeah.
Feature creep. Well, it's interesting though, because you've actually implemented a feature that people have been asking for, which is to revive all your gods all at once. And it seems like if you buy a boon, you can do just that.
Exactly. So
for now,
I think that wasn't our original intention, that the boon would also revive them, but due to technical difficulties to actually track death per god, we decided just to have everything just revive it because it's easier.
I do have an idea for that one, but let's
don't
put it on the to-do list. You know what I'm saying?
Backlog icebox.
Put it right into the icebox.
Yeah. So this is cool.
Yeah, so you can see your active boons there. You can also see it in the tabbed page as well. See which one's activated, and you can see the expiration if you click into it as well. But yeah, now all your gods are earning by default. So this is all working pretty well. There's just a few small things that we need to improve, which is, so right now these boons set your health, all the gods' health, to 50% minimum. But there's a bug right now where if you had a fully sated healthy god that was at 100%, it now gets reduced to 50%. So it's just being forced to 50 across the board. So we have a fix that will still allow you to get to 100%. And then another to do still is we want to make the blood rewards a function of how healthy each god is. So rather than just being alive or not, it will be if your god has 90% health, then you will earn 0.9 blood rather than just 1 whole blood for being alive. Does that make sense? So having these boons is a great way to just have everything alive and making blood. But if you still want to optimize your earnings, you can still come in and play the Tamagotchi game to maximize your earnings. So this is all assuming it's not technically difficult for Jamie. I'm saying this as if Jamie can do this really easily. Mr. Smart contract man.
Our dumbest smart contractor.
So that will drastically change the way blood earnings work, but it is a simple fundamental change. So that's why these boons are set to 50% as a way to incentivize you to still play the game if you want to earn more blood. And then we also have Jamie made this kind of hidden feature, which I exposed better. You can now transfer blood to any wallet in the navigation. And then you can also add the token to your MetaMask, so you can see blood in your wallet.
That looks like
Actually,
fire.
that'll
It is, yeah, it needs to change, but
that's the first flame, and that'll only show up in your assets if you were to switch to Polygon.
Okay.
But that's a possible future upgrade that I'm considering is if you can play on mainnet and it'll use all the meta transactions and all that crazy signature, structured signature dialogue. But it actually is relatively simple to make it so that if you were to switch to Matic natively, you could submit your own transactions, which doesn't particularly have a technical benefit. It actually would just cost you more money. But I think it's kind of like, if there's any blockchain nerds in the house, is kind of an interesting model for cross-chain interaction, or sort of like a UX improvement that you can be on the wrong network but still transact on the other network if someone has the setup. It's an unusual setup for a lot of dApps. I haven't seen very many people do it.
yeah.
But yeah,
So
with
that, I
the
mean,
blood.
that's.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that that's really it for the demo. Is there any questions of like how this works? It's pretty. We decided to keep it things pretty simple and just we're kind of feature freezing right now because there's so many more ideas for boons and different things you can buy. We just want to get this V1 working and launched into the beta next week so that we can just find bugs, help us find bugs, and then go mainnet after that.
I've got a few questions. So like right now I've got 2 boons going. In no way do these stack. This implementation of like what I just did is basically wasting this petty boon, correct?
Exactly. Yeah.
That is correct, with the exception of, it does mean that one could expire and the other might still be active, if that makes sense. So
I mean, but yeah, it's still wasting the petty boon. It's not optimizing
it's not
the
perfectly
boons.
optimized. Yeah, the ideal setup would be,
One at a time.
you activate another one right when the other one ends, basically. But I suppose there is arguably a use case for multiple, or we could do
Yeah.
something else with it.
I
But
thought about adding like a little notification if you tried activating another boon, just to be like, FYI, you already have one
yeah, like
turned
just
on.
quick reminder, these don't stack. Yeah, because they're both time based and they both set it to the same value. But in theory, those are just game variables. So in theory, they could change. But as is, it's a waste of precious boons.
Cool. Yeah, I figured that was the case. I can see a scenario in which you would want to do this where you like unexpectedly know you're going to be away from your computer longer than the time left that you have on your like petty boon that
Totally.
you popped
Right.
before. So you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to pop my middling and take off. But yeah, it seems like this divine boon, this is going to be like an absurd amount of blood, I'm hoping.
Yeah, and I think that's the goal, is to make
So
that
much
more
blood.
expensive.
So much blood.
We had other boon ideas, and we were toying around the idea of buying gods, so like the price was weighted towards that. So I think that all that needs to change now, to be weighted towards the divine boon and make that super expensive.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem like I can't increase beyond the 50% with the current implementation. But you were saying the goal is that you can micromanage your god later and receive slightly increased rewards when you keep it at higher health.
Yep, exactly. So with that fix, yeah, as I was describing, that was like a bug right now, is that it will always show 50%, but with the fix, you'll see it go above 50%.
The other fix, the other economic change that we'll probably stick in there at the same time, is making the power alignment boost absurdly high. and potentially changing that less frequently. I haven't totally decided on that yet.
This?
But yeah, because it's like you have 2 out of 33, which is fairly low. So only getting +2. I think we discussed this before. So only getting
Yeah.
kind of like a plus 10% boost was pretty small. So I think I'm just gonna jack that one up to
Let's plug it in.
300%.
Let's plug it into the
Plug it into the
machinations
machination.
to see how that
Yeah.
affects things. I mean, I feel like the goal of that is just like incentivizing having more gods so you increase the chance of earning more.
Yep. Yeah, and there was the idea, I think it was T Mincy that threw it out. It's not gonna make it in for now, but the number of your gods that are aligned with your cult, which is
Of gods aligned. Oh, right.
like
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like a cousin to that one, and honestly, like I like it more because it is sort of more collector oriented, kind
Right.
of. But yeah, it's on the list. It's not in the ice packs, but it's just on the list.
Yeah, I like that one quite a bit.
Yeah, me too. Because the daily power one is kind of hard. I mean, here we are learning in public. The daily power one is kind of hard because like Snuts, you know this probably better than any of us. Like the collecting process isn't really like a daily game exactly.
Right.
Like, and so sort of rewarding like a gotchi that's is it called or a gotcha? Like having a gotcha collection that changes every day is impossible. So
Right.
so it ends up just being random. It ends up just being like people who have a large collection, something like 5% of their gods get this boost at any given time. So all it really does is reward people who have like a
Yeah.
large collection, basically.
I mean, I think right now the cult binding stuff is sort of doesn't have a lot of value, and if you are a person who likes collecting astral gods, aka me, then if I bind it to astral, then maybe I'm just earning more because I have more predominantly astral gods.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean I do the same thing too. I'm always sad when I get a wood gang that is not Tureen though. It seems inappropriate. Yeah. That it's nonsense. This doesn't make any sense.
Oh, another fix I made today. This is just a quality of life improvement. Is the base if you switch to. Do you know how to show this in a mobile view
Yeah.
in your desktop? The arrows are now showing up on mobile, so you can
Oh wow,
more
that's
easily.
optimization right there.
There you
Nice.
go. Someone complained about that a while ago, so it's finally
Yeah,
fixed.
I want to see what happens with the. Oh, geez.
Oh boy, we did something. But you know, in the blood, another small one was Snuts or GPU added the blood balance on mobile, which was a long-standing bug.
Yep.
That was a minute ago, but it's those little things where I'm like, ah, yes, it's ready to
Yeah,
go,
I'll hold a close button here. That's
ready to take this thing public. You'll be ringing that stock market bell.
Bing, bing, bing.
Yeah, there should just be an obvious way to get out. But because this area here is usually protected, I
right.
think, on like iPhone at least, you can't touch there. But yeah, looks great, guys. Good work.
You're on to the hustle is actually that you have to buy it.
Yeah, no getting out now.
It's my design.
You clicked on it. You better buy it. Oh, it's funny.
There were close buttons in the designs, but
small thing to note before I forget. Kind of a small bug. If you'll remember, I resurrected this homeboy first, and he was the only one I resurrected. So because I resurrected him and I didn't use the Boon side trick, it puts all this on cooldown. Yep. But nothing else of mine is on cooldown. It's like it basically rewards you to never resurrect right now, and only use a boon to resurrect, because then you have full access to everything.
You know, maybe then we'll make it so that the boon does not resurrect. So then you would need to resurrect. So there still is an incentive to make sure your gods don't die.
We need to see it. Isn't there's a lot more work there, right, Jamie?
No, not really, because it's just like changing the conditional, basically.
Does that mean we can create the resurrect boon?
Yes, that's a great idea.
That part is harder, but
You're tell me.
in theory. But what you would do is you would just resurrect your gods and then activate your boon. Or you'd activate your boon and then resurrect your gods, and then it would, you know. But the idea is like to incentivize never letting your gods die. That would, because that's the, then you're on cooldown for however long and not earning anything, even if you have a boon active.
Interesting.
I love it. So what's the
We'll look into
timeline
it.
looking like to get this into people's hands then? Because I know this is not on the beta yet.
I mean, I think it's almost done. I feel like it's early next week we could. It's just a matter of picking some prices for the boons, getting the health to be a function of your blood earnings, and investigating this god revival thing. So, I mean, that last one's I guess the biggest question, but sometime
My
next
God.
week.
And adding like some, geez, like some purely cosmetic boons for Dub Paste to buy, since he's going crazy over here buying things.
Oh, I can't wait to spend my blood. I've been waiting.
Oh yeah,
Just
I
hoarding
would
that
love
blood.
cosmetic add-ons for your gods. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm just gonna set up like a store where it's like, I make you pretty if you send me blood. It's a cosmetic add-on.
I've got to
Okay, I could
put this in the
turn
looking
it on
glass.
the god
Yeah,
renderer
on the
again,
top,
so I can
maybe
render new ones.
Yeah, GPU, I don't know if you saw that hyper loot thing I posted of
No.
they made a hyper loot app store where I don't think they charge for it, but one of the apps is the PFP renderer, another one is a Twitter background renderer. And I thought it was kind of neat how they framed it as like an app store sort of, and those were like apps that you can open and then, but I mean, really they're just like other small apps that
Yeah, I mean,
recognize
how hard
your
would it to
hyperlink.
be just to buy a boon that you can then use on a single god to like add a new aura or layer?
I think it'd be pretty easy. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, it'd all be front end magic, but yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
pretty easy.
Right. I mean, it wouldn't show up in
Part of
OpenSea,
how
but
to render it, right?
Yeah. But yeah, on the gallery page for sure, because it would just have to, because like on this page right now, we already know what boons you have active, and I think what all we need to do is make it so that you could activate a boon and associate it with a given god, basically,
right.
rather than it being kind of an account level thing. But I'm actually
Yeah.
gonna write that down because that's a good future proofing thing right there.
Yep. I got a question. So we're on this boons that Dub owns page. What happens when when one of these active ones gets exhausted?
I have no idea.
So when you activate it, this user interface is slightly deceptive. When you activate the boon, you are actually burning it. And then we just basically flag your account as having the boon being active. But this is, and if you were to look at the Transaction Explorer, you would see that when you had activated it, that you also transferred the 1155 item from your account to the dead address.
That's super cool.
So,
Cool.
but what
So
we're doing, but for the
so when
purposes
it
of the UI,
expires,
no, it's not when it expires when you activate it.
I'm just saying, like when the time runs out, like what happens in the
Oh, it
front
just,
end
in the
interface?
oh yeah, I think it would just go away, but yeah, as is, it would just vanish. It'd just be nothing.
Yeah, it seems like it should almost vanish from your collected boons since it's present on this front page now.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I think the reason it was there is just like for debugging, basically. But in theory, that would work. Then your inventory would only be your like unconsumed inventory.
Yeah, that's cool.
That would be more
Well,
accurate, because if you were to look at that inventory page, it would be like, oh, you have 4 boons. But then if you were to look at if you were to look at the actual blockchain, you would only have 3 because you had transferred one when you consumed it.
Cool.
Which is such a funny quirk of blockchain design. Like you can only make state changes when a user initiates a state change. So there's no way to like use it and then transfer when done. Like you have to use it, transfer it, and then that's it. I don't know how to explain that better.
that's clear.
with normal
Well,
computer
yeah.
programs, you can kind of like, you can work with ticks and you can like make state changes autonomously, but with blockchains, you cannot. All state changes must be user initiated.
Cool. We done with the share?
Yeah,
I'll
I
turn
think
them
it's
off.
we're all
Think
set here.
so. Yeah, thank you, Doug Pace. That
Got
was,
any questions from crowd? Let us know.
we got
Or
small
put it
groups
in
this
the,
week.
or put it in the side chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it sounds like the next steps for us is ship this beta. Everybody starts playing with it on Monday. We get a little feedback, but I think it's get really close to shippable. We launch a new version of the homepage that explains this pretty easily to people coming in, and start our marketing push. One thing, like side announcement to all this small crowd that we have here is as we push this out, I think it's not. I think we will be starting to close the mint. Um, so we'll be having something fun uh, in the process of doing that. But as part of our marketing push of allowing people to come into Alpha League, um, as part of the marketing push, I think it's time to start limiting the quantity and see how that can encourage people to come check out what we built here. Just to get more eyes on the project and get all the people, the owners that have it, back into it. See all the hard work that Jamie and Casey and we all have done.
Alright, why one question if I may?
Sure.
Please.
Basically, last week I understand that the people will be able to mint one god or maybe more with blood, right? That means that this is not the case anymore, or
No, we had kind of cut that just for scope, but is that your primary motivation?
no? Of course, I'm involved here from a long time, so
Yeah. I mean, out of curiosity, what's your like, I don't know, interest level with it? Part of the reason we cut it is just sort of some of the complexities like around limiting it and how to limit it exactly. Like it's like a fairly complex thing, but I mean, particularly as we talk about closing the mint, it's like,
yeah,
hey,
it is way better to close the mint in my opinion, because the limit it, there will be a half of the quantity, so the gods will be more prices, right?
yeah, and part of the interest in the mint with blood was, obviously to help bring more gods into existence. Part of that is just because like, but Dubpace has pointed out, others have pointed out in previous calls too, how it naturally uh, lends itself to only like to large god holders acquiring more gods rather than new owners coming into the community or things like that. So it was one of those things we've kind of softened on it over time, but still technically possible. It is still item number one in the shop. It's just not in the store anymore.
All right, thank you for answering.
Yeah, I can speak a little bit to it as well. Like, I raised some concerns when it was proposed. Like, from a fundamental perspective, I love the idea. It's a really cool idea because it does assign some sort of value to blood. But I think there's a real danger of like basically diluting the supply and punishing those that paid a full mint price. So it's such a tough thing to balance economically that I think the team is having the right conversations for sure and making sure we don't make a bad economy choice.
Yeah, this is smart.
Cool. Thank you. Always appreciate the feedback.
Thanks for answering, man.
Really glad we unserver muted you.
Well, I think that might be wrapping up, unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about or discuss.
All good
Noah
here.
wants to share something. I thought Noah wanted to say something.
Or Noah.
Now he
No.
has to say something.
Yeah, was that just to make sure I was still listening?
Whoa, that's cold.
You passed the
You got me.
test.
I'm here. I'm here. I got questions, but I don't want to ask here. So,
Oh,
DM.
okay.
Cool, no problem.
Cool. Let's wrap it up.
Great.
All
Yeah,
right,
right on.
sounds good.
Thank you all
Thank
very
you,
much.
everyone.
Look forward to more updates next week with this beta out. We'll get some other changes in.
Goodbye, guys.
Sounds good.
Make the magic happen.
Have a good rest of your day, everyone.
See you, Noah. See you, Flornucky. See you, Accidents Are Real, and Dubpace, and Godasaur, and all the other gods fams.
Goodbye.
Keep recovering,
Dark
Dubs.
greetings.
Gonna go take a nap.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.